I can't even lie to you, and I don't want to lie to you. I have a confession to make. This is not the world's first react because we're watching someone else react to it and translate. So right now I have WineBlue's perspective pulled up here. I'm sorry. I know. It's a tough time. In these like trying days and hours. We're gonna be watching through Mr. WineBlue's perspective, and then I'm gonna go back and probably cross-watch through Benji and Memo if they have like a shortened version of it to see if we can kind of draw similarities to it. We're still reporting the news, but I have to let someone else report the news because I don't speak or understand Korean. So he's super quiet, but
Greetings, adventurers. Okay. Lost Ark director Jae-Hak Jun here. So the atmosphere, the reactions have been pretty bad.
That's an understatement.
The recent Chinese stream, all the reactions, the bad reactions, we are aware of that. And I know that a lot of adventurers are watching the stream with a worried mind. I think we have a lot to discuss today. The reasons it has come to this is because of all the bad decisions that were made. It all accumulated.
Maybe you want
we were not able to deal with those problems.
I'll turn it up in OBS a little bit though.
At the time when they happened. And so it is our mistake, our fault. We are doing live streams every month. We have been doing. But I feel like we have not been on top of our communication game.
Okay, he admits it. All right, good.
And my Freudian slips or like the things I've said may have given you a wrong impression. There's a lot of issues and they are connected together in a very organic, tight fashion. So it's hard to pinpoint any single issue. It's been 1 year and a month and a half since I've been director. And I want to go back and discuss the decisions I've made as director and the reasons behind each of them. I feel like this stream should be dedicated to that.
I'm going to pause this real quick.
And then I'll...
It's crazy to me how boring this backdrop is, bro. I feel like I'm watching, like, I don't know, like the start of a movie where it has, like, the business guy sitting at, like, the most vanilla desk possible to portray, like, a boring office life. And it's crazy. Yeah, like, have, like, some merch or something. Like, we have a Lost Ark water bottle. Like, this is... Yeah, hello, Mr. Anderson. Second part of the live stream is better trust. Okay, I mean, that's fine. I still want to watch through it, and I'm real happy WineBlue did translation, so...
I might also bring up future direction.
Yeah, what's up, Dante?
But I wanted to discuss. If I go back to when I was first became director, what I initially planned to focus on was vertical content, pushing vertical content fast.
That's funny.
Among the players, there was a lot of desire, want for more vertical content. It is also a promise that I made with the players to push vertical content faster. At one of the showcases, I also brought up that I wanted the players to feel that excitement that they had back in the era of Vulcan, Vicus, and Clown.
That's a cool callback. Okay.
티어 3 기반의 시즌 2 기반의 어떤 성장 요소들이 좀 임계치에 도달했던 시점이었습니다. 그러다 보니까 그리고 또 얼마 전에
So back right before the start of season 3, the spec up, the progression methods of Season 2 had come to a maximum point.
파밍 같은 거를 좀 추가하기는 좀 쉽지 않았어요.
So it was difficult to add any additional
상급 재련,
progression methods.
무기 초월을 저희가 좀 새로운 파밍으로 넣으면서
And so we tried to diverge from the traditional ways by bringing in elixir and transcendence and such.
처음에 끝나는 파밍
We tried to go and do transcendence and elixirs.
재밌었냐 그럼 당연히 좀 그렇지.
All right.
But looking back at it, was it fun? Not really.
Okay. Okay. That's good news. They admit it.
가능한 것을 좀 넣었었는데 좋은 파밍은 아니었다고
It was not a good farming method.
이후로도 계속해서
A farming system.
성장을 이어나가기에는 더 이상 어떤 여러분들께 득템의 재미도 그렇고
And it was hard to provide once people had completed once players had completed
Yeah, I remember
elixirs
that,
and
KJ Fun.
transcendence. There was no longer any excitement for drops and such.
좀 앞으로 여러분들께 좀 새로운 목표도 제공해드리고
And so
Well, like it's hard in this game to be excited about drops when you already have all your gearing. You already have everything done, and you're getting like a new currency every raid to give you tiny percents of upgrades, and it's gated by either normal or hard mode, and it's 3 to 6 months. And that's literally every vertical progression system thus far, like in my opinion, except for the T4 power spike, which was pretty big. The bracelet power spike was pretty big. Yeah. Like that, so that's like an interesting thing to say. Like, how do you add excitement when there's no excitement? You know, it's the most like vanilla currency collector there is. You know, you could look at it like, but it's karma, but it's just like, no, you're literally just collecting currency like every MMO does, and then spending it to get tiny percents of an upgrade. Like that's what Lost Ark is. That's kind of crazy. I'm still waiting half a year to spend hundreds of thousands for a 1% boost. Yeah. I still have a garbage bracelet on main when my alts have 15% plus on bracelets. Yeah. 47th purple elixirs.
we felt
Not fun.
the need to bring a new season in order to provide excitement for progression, farming, drops.
여러 실책들이 좀 나오게 된 것 같습니다.
And that is how all the mistakes that we committed
심상치는 않았고요.
began. It was a starting point.
때였을 겁니다. 그때
That's a pretty
에서 시즌3 발표드린
interesting statement to make.
At Luon summer of last year, we announced season 3,
네, 여러분들께 좀
and there was the issue of
실감을 좀
bracelets, hard reset on bracelets.
네, 여러 가지로 좀
Yo, what's up, Mr. Hobo?
느껴지던 부분들도 좀 많이 있었던 것 같고요. 그리고 시즌3
It was pretty much a hard reset.
크게
I mean, it was a hard
두
reset.
가지는 전에 지난 방송에서 한번 말씀드렸던 것 같긴
It was not a hard reset. It was a soft reset with increased ceiling. Like that's crazy to say that.
경제적으로 새로운 성장 요소를 너무 한꺼번에 좀 풀어버린 거를 좀 크게 실수한 두 가지.
So our two big mistakes were pushing vertical content too fast and introducing way too many progression methods all at once.
Okay, yeah.
So why?
Like W take from this guy right there. Like too many progression systems is 100% true. They just keep adding on and adding on and adding on. Hard reset on bracelets. And did they need to do that? No. It's crazy.
Why did we do that?
말씀을 드리면은
Relic bracelet was so trash. It is. It still is.
I think it was greed.
득템의 재미도
Wait.
성장에 대한
Back in season
just said
2,
it was
the
reason
meta
was
was kind of
greed?
stale.
Whoa. That's crazy to say.
No more excitement for drops.
여러분들께 새로운 어떤 성장의 목표도 좀
So we wanted to provide that motivation to keep growing, keep playing.
순차적으로 풀 계획도 있기는 했었거든요. 그래서 시즌3 처음 출시했을
We also had plans to introduce things bit by bit, step by step.
그리고 4티어 보석, 유각 이렇게를 이제 파밍 요소로서는 우선적으로 좀 제공을 해드렸었고 그리고 한 달 뒤에 그 7월 말이죠. 7월 10일에 시즌3 했었고
So initially we released things like gems and books.
고대 장비가 나오면서
And then 1 month after the start of the season, we released the ancient gear.
8월에 초각성이 업데이트가 되고
And then in August, we had Hyper Awakening
팔찌가 추가되는 형태로
Unleashed.
순차적으로 계획을 하긴 했지만 사실 거의 한 달도 안 되는 간격 혹은 한 달 간격.
So we wanted to introduce things bit by bit, but in actuality, it was pretty much done all in the span of a month, basically.
여러분들께 좀 너무 큰 부담을 좀
And so it led to a lot of pressure on players.
Yeah.
We admit.
Yeah. Good.
공급은
Good
부족하고
communication.
그러다 보니까
W comms
A
right
lot
here.
of demand, but very little supply.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you.
그러면서 특히나
So prices skyrocketed.
너무
Yep.
부담을 좀 드렸던 것 같습니다.
It was a lot of pressure.
저희가 이 와중에서도 또 세심하게 또 챙기지 못했던 부분이 그 게임 내 퍼클 문화 같은 게 존재하잖아요.
And we have this culture of first clear, the first clear culture, right?
사이에 이루어지는 어떤 퍼클 문화라는 게 존재하는데
Thank you,
AB가
Abe.
이제 7월 말에 출시되고
I
시즌
am.
3가 7월 10일에 출시되고
Whenever a new raid is released.
퍼클 경쟁으로 인해서 거의 뭐 등 떨밀리면서 말도 안 되는 가격에 뭐 가긴 사시고
So when players wanted to fight for that first clear title
하는 거 보면서
back in when A gear was released, they had
가격이
to
이렇게 여러분들께서 이렇게 등
buy
이렇게
books
해야
and
된다라는
gems and
생각이
such
당시에
at a very high price. They
Which
were
still are
forced to,
very
in a
high.
sense.
엘라
What's up,
같은
her?
경우에 사실은 에스터 분들께는
And then there's the issue of Esther weapons, Ella.
펼쳐지기도 했었죠. 그 당시에 저희가 그 왜 그러면은 엘라를
So why do we force players to
오히려 다시 한번 상처를
upgrade their
드리는
Esther weapons through Ella
거거든요.
in that
사실
fashion?
저희가 성장 비용을 좀 시뮬레이션을 해봤습니다. 성장
So
비용을
we
시뮬레이션 해봤을 때
did some simulation tests.
25강으로 이제까지 올리는 비용하고 이제 6강 엘라를 좀
So how much it would take to upgrade the weapon to 25, like a normal weapon versus, like how much should we
계산이 되긴 했습니다. 그래서 아 이거는 좀 어떻게든
put the
나가야
price
되겠다.
of upgrading Esther weapon?
잘못된 사인으로 이분들이 계속해서 좀 에스더를 올려 나가시는 일이 없도록 그리고 또
Not there yet, Mr. I am Papa. What's going on, bro? Come in.
더 이상 계속 에스더를
Gotta get
올리시는
through this
일이
first.
없도록 엘라 2단계 저희가 에스더의 기운을 좀 요구를 하게 되었습니다.
So basically, based on their simulations, they came to but I guess it's wrong cues.
높은 비용이
So based on these wrong simulations, they
여기다가 또 앞서
Wait,
말씀드렸던
he's
put that price.
he's saying they
For the Ella.
simulated the cost of what it should cost. Yeah, they have the data. I don't know how could you simulate it wrong? Did they have like one guy on a notepad just be like, "This is what I think it costs"? Simulation for the mad prices, maybe. They used your RNG. The simulation made it too expensive. Yeah, I guess so. That doesn't make a lot of sense. And that's for determining the cost of an Esser upgrade. And then so they took the average of 18 to 25 and then said this is what it should cost to go from Esser from here to here. Like, what is this company doing? That's kind of crazy, no? What's up, Thorak? What's up, FSP?
사이에 좀 있는 어떤 퍼클 문화에 대한 배려까지 더해지면서 저희가 정말로 많이 부족했던 것 같고.
So it was our shortcomings. All in all, we're just really dumb.
충분한 사과의 말씀드리지 못했던 것 같아서.
And I feel like we did not express
정확한 말씀 꼭 드리도록 하겠습니다. 죄송합니다.
how sorry we are thoroughly.
네,
So I need to apologize right now.
너무 늦었죠. 너무.
W sorry right here. Yep.
It's too late. It's too late.
1년 가까운 시간이 지난
It's definitely too late.
너무 많이 늦긴 했지만 저희가 좀 뒤늦게나마 약속한 보상안을 좀 준비해봤습니다.
So
Where's
we
Benji?
will make amends, even though it's late.
여러분들께서
I feel like
진행하셨던 시점,
we need to make some
언제
amends.
진행하셨는지, 그리고
Okay.
엘라 2단계 진행하셨던 당시 거래소의 어떤 에스더 기운 거래 가격,
So depending on
거래소 시세 등을
the
저희가
cost of the Ella weapon at the time,
기운을 저희가
at the
최대
time
원정대 상대로
when the
상대로
purchase was
담아서
made,
차등해서 지급을 해드리도록 하겠습니다.
we will provide Esther
추가로
stones
이번 여름 업데이트
to those people
엘라
who
2단계를
made the
진행하신
purchases.
모든 분들께
What?
So it will depend on the market price at the time
Bro.
when the
심볼과
Esther weapon was
물질을
upgraded.
함께 지급해드리도록 하겠습니다. 네, 너무나도 늦은 대처.
So just giving away free Esser stones to anyone that
But of
upgraded
course
because they
those Esper
simulated the
stones
cost
will be
wrong of
bound.
from the cost of going from 18 to 19 to 25. That's interesting.
시즌 3가 출시된 지 얼마 되지 않아서 저희가 초각성 로드를 진행하게 되었는데
Season 3, at the beginning of season 3, we
we
released Hyper Awakening Road,
Big compensation for whales.
so an express.
Bound
이게 잘
Essers.
빠지지가 않았습니다. 그래서 좀 저희가 좀 빠르게 재료 가격도 좀 내리고 어떤 여러분들의 성장 부담도 좀 줄이기 위한 방안으로 초각성 로드를 진행을 했습니다.
So the market did not stabilize as we expected, and so we introduced the Hyper Awakening Road in order to help players progress.
늘어나게 되면서 가격을 좀 더 빠르게 좀 낮출 수 있다는 계산에서 좀 진행을 했던 부분이 있었고요. 그리고 또
We thought we had the means to regulate the prices to a desired level.
추모 시점이 아니라 그냥 초각성이 실제로 이제 8월 말에 업데이트 되기 바로 직전 시점까지만 하더라도 어떤 재련 부담이라든가 뭐 초월 엘서 같은 거에 막혀서 1640 이전에 어떻게 보면 이제 그 이탈하시는 유저분들이 무려 한 90% 가량 되었습니다. 그 정도로 그 이전엔 더 많았고요.
So at the time, back in August, basically most players, 90% of players quit before they hit 1640 because of the costs of progression.
과도하게 높았던 재료 가격 안정화 같은 게 같이 좀 어느 정도 이루어졌습니다.
And so we felt that at the time we needed to stabilize prices in order to help new players advance in the game.
안정화가 되는구나 했는데 이게 좀 아브레이슈드 출시 시점 이후로
And we thought we had done enough.
이게 연계가 되어서 유통 골드가 좀 크게 증가하기 시작했고 이
But because of these measures and around the time of Brel,
I should be pretty interesting so far. Hey Q-Lordy. Like, how far in are we now? So recap so far, just making sure I'm following here. We're about 10 minutes in, 12 minutes in. They're sorry. Compensation for people that spend a lot on Esser weapons because they simulated it wrong and it cost too much. They admitted to greed. They admitted to trying different things to try to make it exciting again. They said some of their systems were bad. That was interesting to hear. And taking things back to Vault and Vika's Clown days. Kind of cool. Hey, Shubi. And whole lot of sorry so far.
We had way too much gold being unleashed in the market. So this graph here shows.
I also don't. I forgot to change my audio settings here. Oh well. I don't know. I'll start over. First 10 minutes. I just did a brief recap. What's up, Anwar? Alright, so hopefully I remember to fix it afterwards. So I remember talking about this a couple times throughout the process here, but usually at game studios what you do is you do track inbound gold versus outbound gold, meaning how, like, what's your intake, how much are players earning, and how much of it is being spent. And you actually want to keep that kind of close because you don't want to have players like that are Jeff Bezos with billions and billions of wealth never having to worry, right? You want people to make gold and spend gold and have like gold sync systems and ways to invest their gold, or like spend their gold, not invest, but just spend it. So seeing this, I'm assuming we're saying this is before you weren't making enough for the average, I'm guessing, or what? And then this is showing how much gold they were making. And then as the stuff went on here, this is the cost of things for each raid. The blue is T3 raids. Oh, I see. That's gold needed. Okay. So I did, like, I'm just guessing based off of a graph here, so good to know. Gold required for each raid tier. Okay.
Pressure for gold, like the demand for gold. This indicates the demand for gold. Like how much gold you need.
Okay, yeah, Wine explains.
Compared to how much gold can be created, produced. So in the middle, the highest bar indicates Season 3 start. This is how much gold you might have to spend versus how much gold you are making, and so the discrepancy is large.
So the middle point would be how much gold you're making, and this was the old raid, this is new raids, how much you're making and spending. So it's like purposely predatory here, and then it's been just above predatory the whole time. I use that word loosely there. It's interesting
and
to
so
see them
compared
actually
to Season 2, the
really
discrepancy is very noticeable.
Jesus Christ.
A large need for gold compared to how much gold is being produced. And this pressure led to
Is this gold
change
Is this gold income here and here?
in the way the game is being played. So a lot of players create multiple accounts, and then players start
F4 shop
sharing
versus
gems within the
RMT?
roster, so same class
Interesting.
rosters, and then also sharing gems among accounts. And then this led to
Yeah, sure, man.
inflation, gold inflation. The value of gold decreased hard right after Brel release.
Okay. So yeah, we have the date here. This was, I guess, Brel release. I'm assuming that's what that means. That's what it's showcasing based on what Wine just translated.
So a lot of players just had to twist their bodies, basically, like force themselves into these playing methods. We think this is the turning point, Brel release, when things started going astray. So we keep talking about gold inflation here.
Yeah,
Right
it would be
after
cool to have
gold
that data
inflation,
on Papa.
right after Brel release, gold started having a massive trend of inflation. If you look at the clear rate between A gear and Brel, A gear, 93% of players who attempted A gear hard were able to clear it, but
Is this
Brel,
Yeah.
in the case of Brel, only 36%. So
Okay, so a gear hard mode. Did anyone in chat not clear a gear hard mode like week 1? Like, is it because you weren't at the item level, or because like you didn't have like a static? I almost said it was so hard to find lobbies. I couldn't get into a party. I didn't because of the item level. Because I'm just like trying to like. So check this out, guys. Like in our region, we had. I felt a gear. A lot of people disagree with this, and like it's interesting to hear everyone's take on this. But like in a gear hard mode, I thought it was pretty easy to prog. I think it took us about 3 hours to clear it without any arc passive pieces. But yeah, so like our gear, we cleared it. I think it took us about 3 hours to clear it or something like that, maybe 4 hours. It was pretty easy, but when I went back on different groups for hard mode that weren't as juiced, that weren't main quality characters, I felt like it was a lot harder until you got like 1 or 2 pieces of arc passive. And then it was like just a joke, right? Because that power spike was crazy. But like on your main, it was pretty easy. And then like all the alts like over time. I do feel Brel was a lot harder. I was able to clear it on my main. Took like a couple days. It was definitely harder than a gear. And then, but this, okay, so this is 36% of players cleared Brel. More Doom, it was 27% or something like that. When we had first week was stupid. Yeah, it was a forced difficulty, John. I think I mean, I've been ranting about that. I think we've all been ranting about that, right? And it's interesting that there's another one for this next raid, but it's like irrelevant. You don't need it. But it's like just another thing you can have.
and this must have led to a lot of players changing their playstyles. So usually players will start out with normal and then move over to hard mode slowly as they gain that expertise. There's a lot of information right now.
Hold on. Eve or anyone, do we have what this is right here? Is this I don't think that's a continuation of this. Was this the normal to hard? Because you mentioned something about normal and hard here and here. I just have no idea what this is. This looks like, is this the same bit of characters here? 26% of Brel hard mode players moved to normal. Okay. Week by week time spent going normal
So
mode
Brel
versus hard
Gates
mode.
2 difficulty was too high. And that
Do you guys really feel that Brel hard mode gate 2 was the challenge? Or was it gate 1? I feel like gate 1 was the main block. Like gate 2 is way easier than gate 1. But that just could be because we had a nerf version of it, right? But it was because of the scrolls. And that's also in our version, right? Like, because we get the nerf version, sure. But still, like, in our version, that's what it was. But yeah, G1 was way harder. Because I feel like a lot of people did normal G1, then went to G2. Yeah, not everyone's a god gamer. That's true. But that's besides the point. Like, we're just asking in general which one you thought was harder. We also have guides. KR does not. That's true, N6 Roy. But regardless, this statement still stands in question of, like, which one did you find harder? G2 is harder plugging due to DPS check and you needed a good sub. That's true, too, yeah. But that could be said for the first gate, you know. Needing a good sub, needing to meet the damage check. It was kind of like, I felt like G1 was the harder damage check because you couldn't use scrolls, right?
intertwined with high costs of gearing, speccing up. So this led to a downward spiral, lack of motivation for speccing up. So players lose motivation, means players spend less gold in the economy, which leads to lower value of gold, leading to the value of rewards going down, and then in turn leading to lack of motivation again.
That's a pretty interesting slide to look at, guys. Like, they're just like, it's like they're showing the circular logic and path of players relating to the economy and spending, right? I mean, I'm sure they have a lot of data to back a lot of these slides up, and I would love to see most of that instead of just like the general interpretation.
So this sort of trend started back in October, the beginning of October, after Brel was released. And we should have taken measures back then, but we did not, and that was our shortcoming. We thought about it too lax. The warning was there, but we didn't heed it well enough. So we should have nerfed the clear gold of 1640 content, basically, much more back then. I think he's talking about Aegir, so after Echidna and Behemoth, there was a lot of player fatigue concerning raids, so we wanted Aegir to be a bit easy. Or maybe it's about Behemoth, but yeah, basically Behemoth, Aegir were on the easier side, and this led to this new player culture of in English, I guess we call it Oppa culture, where a well-geared character brings in a less geared.
So they're talking about like the people that are leaving alts at 1640 and trading carries, the OPA culture in KR, where you take my 1640 through and then I'll take your 1640 through and like slam these like easier raids and help you get gold. That they shouldn't have been as lax with nerfing gold earn for alts. Which is like an interesting subject to approach because you're going to get a lot of like mixed knee-jerk reaction and feedback there. And it also depends on if it is it sustainable to nerf the bottom end and just keep buffing the top end and force that. I mean, that's like forcing players to push, right?
We could have also adjusted gold inflation through the karma system, but we didn't want the cost of karma to be too overbearing.
Like I keep saying it, but I think karma was actually one of the better systems they've done. Compared to the last couple, at least, for sure.
The costs of gearing up were too high. Players started losing motivation.
Character-bound gold won't help in a way that roster-bound gold won't help in. I mean, you can't necessarily make that statement without details of the implementation of it, Honners. And it depends on what problem we're trying to solve and what you're talking about, right? I don't think Karma is expensive relative to the cost of any other vertical progression system that's available to a player right now. The only bottleneck was the stones, but you also didn't need to do it on your entire roster. You could choose to do it on less. You could choose to only do your Enlightenment on your main, and then your Leap, and then your Evo, and then you're done. And stopping at 21 instead of pushing to 25 or higher than that, right? Which is just whale territory. Sure, it's a good amount of gold, but when you're talking about buying books for 400k for one Adren, like fuck, man. Or like a mid neck for 500 to 750k, like it doesn't seem that bad relative to the amount of damage you're getting. You gained like infinite amounts of damage, getting that extra enlightenment points, extra leap points, and things like that. So overall, I think Karma was a pretty cool system in the amount of damage gained, but it did yeah. And over 3 to 6 months. It depends on how many characters you're trying to do it on too, sure.
And we feared that because of this, we couldn't ask players to pay too much of a high cost for, I guess, karma.
Character-bound gold helps in limiting how you use the gold, but how would that help players? What do you mean? Like you just explained how it helps players. The only thing it's doing is offsetting the cost of your vertical progression systems because it uses bound gold first, right? So all your unbound gold, and we also don't know the implementation. At what point are they going to be implementing that up to? So it's kind of like it's like we'd be going in a circle talking about it because it's like, I don't know how it'd be implemented. You don't know how it'd be implemented. Unless we're saying that you just get extra gold for your raid clear that's bound, and then you can use that on vertical systems, and you have vertical systems to progress with. That would help players in a sense that it's not going back into the economy, right? You can do that without character-bound gold instead of roster-bound. Wait, you can do that without character-bound gold instead. Are you saying you would rather see roster-bound gold instead of character-bound gold? Is that what point you're trying to argue? Or like what point you're trying to make? Okay, well that's your opinion, right? Like I'm not saying one is better than the other.
And that's why we didn't make the costs of things like karma too overbearing.
Well, his point, Muffin, is you could, if it was roster bound, you'd be doing the same thing, but then you could be using it for your main, right? Whereas I'm looking at it like if I had a character that's outside of my main 6, if they let me earn character bound gold on that one character outside of my main 6, that'd be pretty cool. Because then I can push it out without touching any of the gold I would have on my main. It depends on the implementation. Are we talking about outside of main 6? Are we talking about within the main 6? Are you talking about legacy raids that aren't even on your radar anymore? anymore that Hunters isn't even doing. Like, we don't know. Like, it's not implemented. It's not a thing yet. Unless you guys know something I don't. I'm still, like, watching through this. But, yeah.
So we made a lot of failures. We had a lot of failures concerning farming in this game. So you want to bring in that motivation when it comes to when we release Casros, the farming methods will be different.
Farming methods. What do we mean by farming methods?
So it will not just be about gold consumption, but also drops will be more exciting, interesting.
Okay, adding in drops. So farming for drops. So repeating content for drops. I'm assuming that's what that means.
When it comes to relic books, we did design them to
dude, if they actually like, that's what I like. KJ Fun, I hate to draw comparisons to Maple, but Maple has that cool element of a big drop hitting and feeling good, and it's a double-edged sword because if you get unlucky it sucks, right? So there's that side of it too. If it's roster-bound gold, you can spread around the gold as you wish, improving your main characters further. Character-bound gold forces you to improve and select a character. But guys, like you are speculating on something that's not in the game, right? So you're making assumptions that it wouldn't be like if they added in character-bound gold and all it was is for up to 1640, would it be a problem? For new players, I don't think so. As long as they're not nerfing the gold in the process. So like if a player gets 10k gold for this is just a random scenario, not an actual like factual situation here, okay? Like Vaulton gives 10k. Let's just use that as an easy number, round number, right? 10k gold from Vaulton. And let's say it was all tradable. If they then converted it to 5k character bound, 5k free, would that be a problem? If it's like still keeping the gold up in lieu of nerfing it to 5k unbound gold. You know what I mean? So it really depends on how they're going to implement it and what they're going to do, which we have no idea. Like, I understand you think roster bound gold would be cool if that's what they were going to do. And that's kind of what they're already doing with like Fate Embers, right? Because that's like bound gold to your character and then some of it gets unbound eventually. Why not 5k roster, 5k free? Okay, like, Hunters, you're like arguing a point that's not even a point, you know what I mean? So like I'm trying to make you like help you understand like the concept of what like the different implementation methods and what would work, and you're just like you are defaulting to saying why not just give me more gold, you know? And I understand that you as a player, me as a player, I want more gold, sure, but like is it healthy roster bound gold to be in the game on the bottom end for like we don't have enough data to really like go into this too deep, because like I don't know how many like alt rosters there are. I don't know how many bots are out there. I don't know how they're transferring their gold. Are they like funneling it up and doing higher cubes? Like I don't know what I don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So you're just looking at it from your perspective, rightfully so as a player, to say I would rather have account bound gold because then I can use it, right? And that is your opinion. That is what you want. Whereas I'm looking at it on the other, like on the back end as like a developer, what makes the most sense for the game's health, the economy, and like the overall direction of the game. To be frank, for us, roster bound gold is working well, and we aren't getting that many gold, nerf gold says the same. All we do know is that there is unknown unknowns. Yep, I guess you could say that. Is it character bound gold versus roster bound gold? Yeah, it's not even an argument. It's just like, you know, what he wants. Like he's trying to draw the point of I like roster bound gold, not character bound gold, which isn't like something we're talking about in this what we're doing right now. We're like in this what I'm watching right now. So it's just like a conversation to be had. So let's get back into this. You're allowed to have your opinion. I'm allowed to have mine, right? And I'm all for having a more of a conversation on that if it comes up again. I just don't want to like get too far down the rabbit hole on that one. Why are you guys getting guns out? That's crazy.
By that excitement.
Yeah, I would love that, Dimmick, for sure.
Like when you get that adrenaline relic book, it feels really really good.
I would love it.
Perhaps we focused a bit too much on that, and this led to the prices of relic engravings to skyrocket. We did want relic books to be valuable, but the prices that ended up happening in the market was way too high compared to our expectations.
WComs. Relic books are too expensive. Great. I would love it if you set a main, it got bonus stuff from the raids. Like it got 20% more materials from the raid clear and 20% more gold or something like that. And it was character bound. Like that, and that's what I meant by implementation would change your opinion on it. But then everyone's going to say, well, why not just give me that 20k? why does it have to be character bound, right? So it depends on how they balance and put it in.
So in order to deal with this, we initially sought to slowly and steadily increase the supply of books in the market.
Okay, like I understand they put in some stuff to like correct their market over time here, and like they also did the frog, which is like a huge spike. But like, guys, I want that.
But in the end, we released a Relic frog recently, and this led to a sharp decline.
That's what I'm saying here. Like, what? Like they're acknowledging it's a problem. It's been a known problem. It is something that can fix so freaking easily. Over, like they could have just said, all right, we added in the book drops to the raids. Like, it'll correct itself faster then. Instead of like, but then they get the crazy Relic frog in KR, and we get like the Timu frog at like in our version. Like, swap those around, and they would have been happier, and we would have been happier. I would love for our values to tank on the books. Like, I would love to have people actually finish books, but then they're gonna, of course, balance around books. But at the same time, this game is so balanced around imbalance, it's actually crazy. Like because like the average player barely has any Relic books done, right? Your average player. Casuals, especially, like middle of the pack people. The only people that have it done are Bus RMT or people that swiped or like have been saving. They finished a couple, or they're playing a cheaper class, or they're a support main and stuff like that. Yeah, so like they have to balance around that, and so then if everyone finishes it, they'll just balance around that again, right? But right now, I feel like they have a hard time balancing, and then you just have these people that are just juggernauts doing like 30 to 40% more damage because they have those books done, they have those gems done, they have these other systems done. So it's crazy to me that they increase the ceiling without increasing the rate still, and that's like I say that I feel like daily at this point.
And in prices of Relic books in the market, and this led to a lot of disappointment among players. The way we chose to deal with the pricing, the value of Relic books, we tunnel visioned on fixing the market, basically.
Which is their right as a developing studio to correct the market for like your like this the players of it. And it's crazy to me that it feels like he's issuing an apology that they made adjustments to the economy and the market. Like that shit was it's unaffordable for like what 80% of your player base, if not more. It's crazy.
We also have a history of using the gold frog in order to regulate prices in the market. So it was successful back then. So we thought it was a good way.
Like that is a great way to regulate it. For it's a game. Holy, like that whole point still, like I know it's cultural difference, man, but it just like it's tough to like swallow in the West and like understand that like logic, because like we are playing a game, we do it to have fun. The thing that we don't think of though as players is probably the fact that because it has a pay to win shop, sure, you can probably argue that there's monetary value to it and people are spending real money on it, and you don't want to have people that are your like spenders like be upset by it. Like I get that.
The market, gold value and such.
I mean, I disagree with the frog too. I think it was too late for KR. 56% drop in value in 1 hour's insanity. But like, would anyone here be upset, Eve? I don't think so. Like the West is different. That's kind of more the point I'm talking about. Would it feel bad if you just bought a bunch of books and then they got dropped the next day? Absolutely. All right. It depends on how recently you spent. Sure. If I bought a bunch of books, like let's say I spent $5,000 today, and then it got tanked the next day by 50%. Would I feel bad? Yeah, absolutely. And that would piss off people that are spending on your game. So I do understand the logic behind that. And that's what KR's point is. But they're like tying in their personal finances to the game, whereas there's like blended, like I would say most people are like that minnow to dolphin range where they're casually spending. They're not like dropping thousands and thousands of dollars. But like, yeah, so it's a little bit different in the West, but I think those type of people that would be upset by that still exist. Now, personally, I don't care, man. Tank the values, please, so I can buy books. But that's also because I haven't finished all my books, right?
Compared to our expectations when we released the Gold Frog, the prices of Relic books dropped.
Because that's like, hold on. If I swipe, what is it, like $250K per $100 right now in their shop, right? So that's about how much it costs per book, okay? That's a lot of money, you know? That's like saying $2,000 per book done. If I'm talking about 250K as my average. And that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Too hard.
For most people that play this game.
Way lower than we expected. We had these expectations, even if it drops down to this point. It's good enough, but it went down way harder.
But the fact that he acknowledged there was a problem known in the economy multiple times. He keeps stating that this was a problem. We knew it was a problem. And then he moves on to the next topic. This was a problem. We knew it was a problem. Next topic. This was, you know what I mean? That's been the theme so far. Like, we identify problem. Next topic. We identified the problem. And it's like, but like he's not saying what they're going to do about it. How do you fix it in the future? How do you fix it moving forward? And like, could they have made this, they could have like had this problem solved at the start. They just added books at the start. You have a new season with new problems. You make a way to drop it. Like, I know skins make a ton of money. That's what's crazy to me. Is like, why not just have like a fucking team that makes skins for your games and sell them? And that's what's always so crazy to me. Is like, I know microtrans sells. It makes a lot of money. And it's like crazy to me. It feels like they just maybe don't release enough of them, or they all look the same. I know. He gives some answers. Keep watching. I'm sure he does Rise of Dragon, but I'm still giving commentary on what I feel so far. Okay, and I know you guys may have watched it, but this is my processing. So let me go through it. Yeah, Wine didn't say it, but at the beginning of the discussion, he said he wants to recap the past year of Domino Effects. No, I think Wine said that, didn't he, Eve? This stream didn't make me feel positive. Said the books were below their intended price at 200K. League runs on skins. Yep, exactly. The director intends the books to cost 250K to 300K each. I think he's just acknowledging he was too focused on vertical systems and rushed out T4 and finish, and we'll say more about that. Okay, like guys, okay, I'm gonna stop reading.
You say 81% of players purchased Relic books in the second week after the Gold Frog was released. So
yeah, like Arc passes and skins are like what they should be focusing on. Like, just have one always running. It's not that hard.
Prices falling down too rapidly, too sharply. We do not have plans to extend the Relic Frog event. So after the Golden Frog event and after Strike Raid ends as well, the supply of Relic books should normalize again, which will lead...
Is that saying we don't have enough detail here? Like, do we know if they bought one book and then like that was it, that quantifies as someone who bought a book on the second week? Or are we saying someone that bought 20? Are we saying someone bought 40, 60, 80, 100? So there's missing information in like his presentation here, and so it makes it like kind of misleading. So I don't know. What if we get the same patches? Like, bro, like I'm trying to watch through this and you're like spoiling shit, man. Like,
leads to an increase in price potentially. So methods like these that we implemented to deal with economic issues were a bit too extreme perhaps, and in the future we will not resort to such extreme methods. We'll try to deal with price regulations in a more fluid, softer way. We listened to what players have been saying. A lot of players expressed, why are you trying to solve these issues now when you could have done it at the beginning of Season 3? And I am also disappointed in myself. I have regrets. I think we had a lot of fear at the beginning of Season 3. We are aware that players have been expressing how we should allow gems to be freely switched between damage and cooldown before the beginning of the season.
No, lady, you can't come up right now. No, you're good, Harukoi, but like I'm like anytime I've ever done any patch note review, it's always like I try to react to it. I don't spoil myself all day. I don't read, like, I try not to even like open my Discord because people just link me all this stuff. I put it in my title, it's pinned. I try to talk about it and remind people multiple times throughout. So I know it's like, I know everyone's just trying to help, so don't feel bad. And I know people just want to talk about stuff. But yeah, usually I like to try to react to stuff live. It's better for like me to process it instead of like just me like reading through it on my own and then starting stream and then be like, okay,
gem systems as well would be a bit too much. Conserve the value of gems going from Season 2 to Season 3. So we didn't want to make a abrupt changes to the way they function, I guess. We did entertain the idea of bound gems going into Season 3, but we failed to implement it back then.
That's interesting.
It is our mistake. It is our grave mistake.
Conserve the value so people swipe more. Yeah, I mean, I get that, Thibodeau, and that's like something they have to actually consider, unfortunately, because it is, at the end of the day, a free-to-play, pay-to-win model. And they have to make money somehow. But that's what I'm saying, like, we'll just do battle passes and skins and they'll make infinite. Anytime a new battle pass comes out in Lost Ark, it's like up in the Steam charts. It's crazy. Like clockwork. And I'm assuming in KR it's similar over there.
So we kept trying to think of ways to make the game healthier, the state of the game.
Monetization always works better for when it's superficial stuff.
So the issue with gems is that however we try to implement changes, someone ends up getting hurt.
It's good they acknowledge that, though.
So because whichever way we do it, someone ends up getting hurt. We're just looking for the lesser evil, basically.
Right. And like when we've been talking about the gem changes, that's pretty much what I've been saying. Is like you have to consider how it impacts your users and listen to feedback. If a lot of people get affected by it in a negative way, you have to reconsider your actions. No matter what, you're going to piss someone off, right? And you have to just reduce the amount of people. No kidding, get down. Someone said she can't get down now, guys. Look at her. Look at her up there just trapped.
So the current solution that we are trying to implement, we don't believe it's the perfect solution at all. And consider to talk about the
fluffy.
crystal cost associated with untuning gems too early.
The crystal cost on gems.
It's basically not intended to be untuned.
Yeah, we know that. But then you thought about it, right, Shirley?
It's only for emergency situations, basically. That's how we sought out to.
Yo, what's up, Neo?
That's the design, the expected outcome, intended outcome. Why 7 days? We knew that some players would try to rotate gems in the roster.
Poor Luna. And she got kicked out.
But because it does take time to deal with content and such, you cannot. If we impose a 7-day restriction, you cannot properly rotate gems on time within the roster. So we will make changes to the duration of the tuning lock because we don't want to to inconvenience players, basically. So it will be lesser than 7 days.
Okay. Less than 7 days. Luna, come here, baby. Come on, don't do this. No.
Now we're talking about support. So support players, if you really enjoy playing supports, you had no choices. You had no options. You only have Bard, Paladin, and Artist. So you're kind of forced to play the same character. We acknowledge that. We know that.
Okay.
So tuning, basically the way we designed it is such that it's halfway between upgrading a gem. So if you have level 8 gems and you tune them, they kind of become 8.5. That's our intended outcome. It feels like the players took it, they felt that the change was a bit higher than halfway. And if you think about it, the reason why players chose to play same class rosters, a lot of them, the reason why it ended up like this is because of the way we designed this system.
No, you can't go up right now, baby.
The costs, the prices being way too high. So it's our fault. So we put it hard on the players. We put the burden on the players. We acknowledge that.
Okay. True.
So we regret.
Yo, Mr. Benji. What's up, my brother? Come here, Luna. Come here. You don't say. Yeah, Dimmer. What's up, guys? Welcome in. Mr. Benji, thanks so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream, brother. Get down, lady. What are you doing? Oh, she's being so feisty right now. Benji Ray, what's up, Kiosmos? Okay, again, thanks for the follow. Benji, hope you had a great stream, man. Thanks so much for the raid. Guys, if you're here and you haven't checked out my friend Benji, give him a follow. Give him a hug, a kiss, whatever he wants. Maybe not those last two, unless he says, wait, guys, I can't type. Hold on. Oh, Benji TV. Okay, great. Benji reviewed all our characters on Uwu Owo. Hey, Astra, hey. What's up, Iason? Consensual. Yep, get consent first. We're watching through a WineBlue translation of the live stream. We just hit the gem topic, Benji. It's interesting to me how everyone has like a slightly different translation of the same thing. I was gonna watch through this, and then I was gonna watch through your video, and then I was gonna watch through Memo's video, and see if I can kind of like Benji flamed all our rosters. Drummerfy, no, but gotta go further. Well, I'm not talking. I don't know anything, Zephyrus. I don't even know what you're talking about. But I'm saying in general, it's interesting to me how they're all a little bit different. And Benji, you know my favorite part about this video so far is, okay, guys, he said sorry at about 5 minutes in. And I laughed so hard internally, Benji, because that was on your bingo board of predictions. But he didn't open with sorry. So does that still count, you know? And then also, guys, you have like this nice yellow background here, okay? Nice yellow background. Yellow is also the color of what? It's a symbol of being sorry, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. Yep. Sorry, my dad and my mom both called me, so I just wanted to text to make sure they're okay. Money. Corrado, what are you saying? You could easily cut that out and put him in front of something else. Yeah, Benji, if you want to hop in and give me like translations all over again.
So right before the stream, great. I talked with the staff.
Yeah, AGS actually had really good backgrounds. That's what Benji was saying yesterday. I agree with that. They've been getting better and better. Because theory knowledge has left my brain years ago, so I can't remember. Yeah. So far, Kiyag, yeah.
So I'm scared myself about how players would...
It is happy, but it's also sorry, I'm pretty sure. White is like purity.
We are going to scrap the idea of increasing the attack power, base attack power on gems when you tune them. Oh my god, he's on the verge of crying.
What?
They're going to take away the base attack power increase on tuning. I think he said 10 days for the lock. I'll have to go back, but I think he said 10 days. So in exchange for not implementing the base attack power increase, they're going to lock it for 10 days.
15 days. Okay, so he's saying that they're now locking the gems for longer, but there's now no AP increase. So the only benefit of locking is that the damage cooldown swap, as well as swapping to any skill. Okay. I mean, that's fine. It's whatever. You don't have to lock it. Guy looks like he cares about the gem. Oh, wait, cares about the game. I read gem. LOL. Yeah, so whatever. This man was under his dialogue. Feel very bad for every time people shit talk him. So, I mean, that's a pretty cool
and so
change overall, yeah.
If you tune gems, you have the benefit of being able to swap between damage and cooldown and between skills freely. And if you have same class roster, you can just rotate the gems between your characters.
Wait, is he the guy that did Transcendence and Elixirs? When did he become director? Was that the same time? Am I misremembering? I thought he came after those. Or was he working on the staff that did it? I don't remember the timeline here. I don't know if Benji is still around. He was not Eve? Yeah. That's what I thought. One of three bozos. Hey lady, come here. Benji is fried. How long? Benji, are you still here, bro? You lurking? You can't change the locked ones, no.
So A gear, it seems like regarding the gem changes, I'll have to go back and listen. But right now he's talking about A gear. A gear difficulty was fine, but it kind of was tuned a bit too.
I mean, I feel like we've said it, but the point of locking them is build changes and swapping from damage to cooldown without having to re-roll. Or like sell and buy. Get down! Oh my god! Ah!
So we made simulations regarding how fast players are going to progress. There's something we missed. We were not able to properly assess how bad the pressure on players was regarding speccing up. And that started exploding around the time of Brel, basically. So because that element was not included when they were designing Brel difficulty, the pressure felt way higher on players than was intended. And so it was tuned too difficult in the sense that, of course, if you have 8 really good players and they go in, they can definitely clear even with minimal gearing, but in a lot of cases you'll end up having not having enough damage.
It's interesting they bring up that point because like I did a whole video on that exact topic of like, sure, yeah, like a well-geared main with decent players coming together can clear the raid, but it's like so punishing that if anyone dies at all throughout your prog, it's like tough and like it's satisfying, sure, when it's your main, but when you expected or have alts up to a certain point and the raid doesn't feel clearable, even though you have like decent investment into it, like the amount of investment required to clear stuff will like just kept going up, but starting with like I think Brel like really jumped and like fuck bro like I had that whole yap that day. I remember putting up a video and the amount of people coming in just saying like LOL you bad, LOL get good when I'm strictly talking about the cost was crazy to me. It's like it's absolutely wild. People clear with 1 second left. Yeah, well like that's kind of how it went with I remember Tofu was talking to us about that and how he like progged it. Yeah, for sure, priority. So we'll see how they handle it with our version. Oh, lady, get good. Pretty much, guys. The no you logic.
So it's all regrets.
Yeah, exactly, Corey. Small Corey. Well, they could. They just have to like.
The difficulty
normalize
was way too high. We set it up way too high, and
it's good to hear him acknowledge
this led to a lot of
like
pressure.
Scale too difficult. Are we getting compensation for that? No, Mike. I do too, Pinko Toko. I miss Tofu. Tofu's just like a fun vibe creation.
So we start noticing that players were experiencing difficulties in terms of clearing around October. So after Brel was released.
Bro, the Balthor situation's so frustrating, man. I can't believe it's gone on this long, and it's like, it seems to be like one-to-one with bots.
And then we were going to tune difficulties. Well, strike rate was going to be easy, and for more Doom, we just wanted the Gate 3 more Doom itself to be a bit more difficult.
Yeah, it's so
but that was our mistake. I think we tunnel visioned on...
What's going on Balthor? It's just on our server for the most part, I'm pretty sure. But whenever the bots start logging in, like clocking in for their work, our entire server goes to the point where it's near unresponsive. And you'll just get the spinning blue wheel of death. I know other servers have it, but it's like clockwork on Balthor, and I think it's worse than the other servers. And like they just die. Like you just get disconnected to desktop like a couple times in a row, and it's just like so frustrating. Yo, Dr. Sweet, what's up, man? Appreciate the follow. It's not always. Sometimes you can get through it with like minimal blue loading circle. We started getting it on NA West Theamine. Yeah, and it continues on for like hours, and it's just dumb. It's absolutely dumb. Is that why 6 people DC at the same time during one of my behemoths today? Probably, Grim. Except for, I don't think it's quite bot o'clock yet, but yeah, Balthor has problems. It's like notorious.
Improving the setting the bar high for quality, raid quality.
Like it seems to be 101, but or 121. I don't know if it is.
So going into the future, we will clean up difficulty settings. So I think we're talking about Casros right now. It's going to be 2 dungeons. The first one will be pretty easy, on the easier side. Not too easy, but like on the easier side. So for the second dungeon, it'll be a bit harder. If you're like a mid-weight player, then you might consider going to normal mode for that one.
Interesting to hear that. If you're a mid-weight player, consider going to normal mode. Is that how this game should be?
Make stark differences between difficulty levels and introduce honor, vanity rewards such that you can feel pride for clearing difficult content.
Okay, that's good. I like that. Honor,
and stratify the difficulties.
Yeah, no, I know it's Casros specific, but...
I'm not sure if the dungeon that we was talking about was actually Casros, though. So 5 things concerning the direction for the future. We will make changes such that the game feels lighter and more casual going into the future.
Okay, that's good.
I do feel like
as long as
the way
still, like,
we were
and
developing and releasing things, it was a bit outdated, old-fashioned. The gaming scene is turning a bit towards more casual, short, light, and so Lost Ark should also ride along with this trend.
As long as the challenging stuff's still there, because it's known for its rating, right?
So we will make lower difficulty contents lighter and more casual, but we also pair it up with a challenge mode difficulty.
Nice. That's what I'm saying.
To balance it off for the end game players.
사실 바라지도 않았습니다. 그래서
That's really good to hear. That they're acknowledging it, right? That's something we've been asking for.
좀 낮춰가는 방향으로 저희가 성장 부담 좀 확실하게 좀 낮추도록.
I mean, they
We
also talked
will
about that in
also
our version
lower
too,
the
our last
costs of gearing up.
성장 부담 좀 확실하게 좀.
For sure. I
So the current spec up methods
세 번째로는
going into the future will slowly adjust them downwards. We did not want this game to be pricey to begin with.
분들이라고 하더라도 캐주얼한 컨텐츠, 뭐 싱글로도 좀 이용할 수 있는.
I think acknowledgement in this case is actually really big, Arctos.
그런 컨텐츠들 좀 많이 제공해 드려요.
And we'll provide more casual content, single mode content. The fourth one is farming. We'll create more exciting farming methods.
Luna, why are you attacking that?
Drops. So you get feel excitement for grinding out the game. And for the fifth, we will
Yeah, that was an interesting thing to hear. Is
I
that
will
they didn't intend for it to be as
lower my
expensive or
obstinance, our obstinance.
pricey. Oh, Luna's
We
down.
were really stiff
잘 소통하지 못하고
and obstinate.
여러분들 말씀 잘 경청하지 못했던 것 같아요.
Oh,
We didn't
really
listen to the
stiff.
players properly.
I mean, that's cool to hear.
그
I feel like a lot of their broadcasts are very much about Tasari, right? But it's cool to actually hear them also acknowledge instead of just saying sorry, you know, like, and say this is what didn't go well, as long as we're getting plans to correct it, you know what I mean? This is the best one because they're talking through the whole process. Yeah, exactly. That's what kind of what I'm saying. Like, they're talking through it. It's not just like, sorry, here's a compensation book. Sorry, here's a skin. This is more like acknowledgement of the issue, explanation of their thought process, and like that like, I know you guys are like memeing about it, but that's actually like really big because I don't feel like this tone has been common in like most of these broadcasts like this. It's been more like, this is what we're doing, and then sorry, here's a book, but we're doing it anyways.
전투 분석기를 좀 출시하도록.
What?
디미터기까지는 아니더라도 하더라도.
So not DPS meter, but we will release
어쨌든 뭐 앞으로는
combat analysis.
Yo, DPS meter? Wait.
라이트하게 만들든 어쨌든 지금 당장 어떤 그 산막에서의 어떤 모르둠에서 저희가 어쨌든 만들어낸 난이도라든가 이막이라든가 그리고
So we're lowering our obstinance.
우리 앞으로
And to show that, we are releasing combat analysis.
Okay, combat analysis.
맞지 않다고 생각을 해서 전투 분석기를 좀 내드릴 예정이고 근데 저희가 전투 분석기나 디미터기를 계속 꺼려했던 이유는요.
The reason why we didn't want to release such a thing,
여러분께서도 이제 아시겠지만 뭐 빨간 약이라고 보통
and you might know it's because of the red pill effect.
누군가는 아 내가
Did you actually say the red pill effect? That's interesting.
So some players might feel that even if they gear up, even if they try to get better, the results don't reflect that. And they might feel pressure because we're playing in party situations, environments,
Bless you.
playing
Fluff.
with other players, and you might start feeling that pressure weighing down on you, that red pill effect. You might realize that it was you who were the problem.
Oh!
Right? Get all that information.
That's exactly how it's going to be used, guys. You're going to roll up to the raid with your combat analysis and then be like, yo, after all that, it was me, dog. It wasn't you. That's how this goes down. Yep. All right. About to 50-50, 10 on subs. Yep. Maybe. I don't think that's how that actually
And then
happens,
we
though,
also
sir.
feared, of course, that you might use
Yo, my bad about being
such
shit.
a tool to as a sword
No,
to wield against
It immediately goes to your shit. No, your shit. And then it goes into 1v1 me, bro. Midge. Yep.
your party mates, which could lead to strifes.
He says he's worried people use it as a sword. Yeah, exactly. I understand why. But if it's on your end, it's good.
네, 그 저희 게임에 지금 성장 요소가 너무 많은데 요거를 이제
Yo, you bringing in the Dragon Ball Scouter. We got so
Wait,
they're
what?
basically introducing something like a Zelo score or Lopex
Yo,
score.
that's cool.
Integrating it into the game.
Weren't we just talking about this yesterday, guys? How like I wish Lost Ark had the combat power core. That's good because there's just way too many fucking factors and vertical progression systems to tie together and have like an actual like, yo, this is what's happening. Like that's actually really good. That's really good. Easier gatekeeping, as you should. Yep. No, I'm just kidding.
확인하기 너무 어려워요.
VIP him.
So too many spec up methods coming into
We are
season
calling
3.
it gear
Way
score,
too hard
yep.
to assess
Shows
the
DPS
power
meter that
level
auto kicks under force. Whoa, 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 whoa.
of a character. So
여러분들께서 이제
yeah, we're going over 9,000.
조금 더 올라갈 수
You've
있다는
changed, John.
그런 우려가 좀
As I should. No, I'm
So
just
we do have concerns.
No, it's like this running meme with the Oreclo twins from the Maple community. And like I'm pretty sure it started from them, but like everything in their chat is someone saying something like righteous or otherwise like meme and XDD culture, and then everyone says as he should, as you should, and then they say VIP him, ban him. Whatever it may be. It's just it's funny. It's good. It's good.
Regarding
How much power do
releasing
whales have versus
something like
regular
this.
players? Yeah, we'll see.
발전 레벨로만 지금 체크를 하고 있거든요.
But
You're
right
out of the
now,
static.
we
Time to
have
gatekeep
already a
them
lot of
all.
problems
Guys,
in the game.
You act like you're not already
The only way
gatekeeping. It's just
to
going to be a faster
the
system
only
for you to do it.
visible way
LOL.
to assess a character's power level is eye level, but that doesn't give you the full picture
Yep.
of how strong a character is. Too many factors.
That's cool that they're adding that though.
약간 좀 동업전청 내고 하면서 조금 더 혹시라도 게임이 빡빡해지는
So power level and combat analysis.
나가도록 하겠습니다.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that though. Biggest factor, what class are you playing? But that's actually true, right? Like, would RE Blade have innately higher, or Spec Wild Soul have innately higher, like ZLOA score, whatever you call it? Like, who knows? Probably not.
So we're releasing these things, and we're also trying to make the game more casual,
That's good. Clappies.
and that is going to be our development direction going into the future.
Clappies. Good changes. Like, good positive communication right here, guys. This
And
is big.
to talk a bit about the Chinese
글로벌하게 준비 중인 편의성 개선 항목들이 여러 가지가 있습니다.
live stream. So we had a few things planned for the future. Some of these things were revealed
Is it-
through the Chinese stream, but there are discrepancies as to how each different region wants to take the game.
Okay. What's up, Chloe?
So all the QOLs.
Why not NA? Why CN?
So most of the QOLs will make way to Korea, but okay. So I guess in the Chinese version they intended to provide vanity rewards for having skins,
Probably hard.
a lot of skins, like a collection. But we're not bringing that over to Korea because the history's been too long. There's skins that are really hard to get right now,
How is it hard? You have all the assets.
but we will have.
Bro, like, how is it hard to get it? Like, is this a translation problem? Like, yo, you have literally all the assets in your game. Like, what do you mean it's hard to get them? They'd have to re-release skins. Is that a problem? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, is it a problem? Can't really get old skins. I mean, they really should be cycling their shop better. I think whoever's in charge of the shop needs to do like a 9,000% job, better job of rotating what's in it, adding more stuff, getting more skins in there. Like, holy man, like the fact like I don't even need to look at the shop anymore because it's not like there needs to be like the kind of like Maple does a good job of having like their cash shop updates with the patch. This is what's going in, this is what's going out. Guys, how often do we get a new patch with no talk about the cash shop, and then it comes to the day of the patch and someone's in stream that says, yo, did you see the new package? Did you see the new this? And you're like, wait, what? What new package? What new thing? You know what I mean? Like, okay, Maple cash shop updates suck. Okay, but like, yeah, at least its communication is more my point, not what what's in it. But like, yeah, like just like communicate more. Like guys, like I want to be hyped up about new packages in the shop. Like I want to be hyped up about new skins coming in the shop, rotating old things. Like at least communicate what's happening in the shop. Like it's like if that's your monetization structure, the fact there's no focus on it is crazy to me.
Have in Korea the convenience features of I think it's the
Yeah, no, it should be.
skins wardrobe.
Did you buy it? Yeah, Haru, exactly. We don't know what's going in. It sucks. I feel like they did Spiral, but I'm not sure anymore.
We will provide honor vanity rewards to players with special achievements.
Hey guys, let me ask you a question, and like I know there's people that aren't gonna like this question. Do you guys feel it's good that there's forced rarity and a market surrounding skin reselling? You know what I mean? Like, is it good that people are buying skins and reselling them for gold right now and then buying them as investments, LOL? Everyone's saying, haha, Korea and your investments. But we have people in NA buying skins as investments. And then, like, should that be happening? They can be traded 3x, so no. Would be nice those return more often, though. No, that's terrible. They have trade limit too, so eventually it's gone. That's true. There are trade limitations. Really limited to do that shit. Our region does re-release skins. It does, yeah. Allows them to get a higher ROI on paying for skins to be made, causing you to FOMO buy them. I'm not doing blind prog, Mike. I don't think, at least. I just haven't watched any guides yet, bro. What about you? Also, people quit, so they take their skins with them. True. Box out limits. True. I was just curious because there's a lot of people who do that. Like, so there's like the cash shop. There's skin buying to resell to the market for those that are free to play. But like, what's interesting to me is the people who do it as like the investment. I was just curious on everyone's take on that. Because I am watching this without spoilers, Mike. Like, I'm blind progging watching the VOD of Korea and what they got. Meaning I have not watched this or seen any recap or details on it.
Such as first clear titles, like people who have first clears and other rare achievements, we will provide some sort of vanity rewards. I don't think he specified.
Maybe a little later I can take a look at that if you want to relink it after I'm done with this. This is like an hour-long thing, and I don't want to get distracted too much.
And then the Paradise content will also be implemented in Korea, but it might be different from...
Wait, so Korea is getting Paradise.
What was
I mean, that makes sense.
The Chinese region.
As they should.
We counted how many different monsters we have created in Lost Ark. It's over 9,000. Over 9,000 different monsters. So we'll keep working on providing different content. In that vein, I guess. Balance patch, we are looking into the data.
Okay. Balance patch
all classes. We feel that 3 specific classes need additional changes.
Okay, which 3? LC Sharpshooter to the moon.
There's classes whose playstyles have become way too complex.
Okay.
Way too many things to weigh and take care of.
Okay. Go on.
Or classes whose ceiling and floor value are low or some.
Okay. Which ones?
3 specific classes.
Okay.
Will have.
Just tell me.
Changes. Some comments are talking about rollback, but the director's saying, I don't think the players actually want a rollback. I think they want improvements. So we'll work to improve. So 3 specific classes will get changes, and we're also looking into the other classes as well. Maybe smaller changes.
Yeah, time to hunt's supposed to be crazy based on what Benji was saying yesterday and what I've heard.
So we will apply difficulty changes, especially concerning normal modes. We'll lower boss HP in order to reduce the requirements for gearing.
Okay.
More
That's
Doom.
good news.
Let's talk about more Doom.
Okay.
Double slam. Or the hammer slam.
Dude, I love his hand gestures here. Holy.
The damage on those will be nerfed.
DB, Wild Soul, and Time to Hunt GS getting nerfed. As they should, Eve. VIP her. As they should. Okay, good.
It will also reduce time-consuming patterns.
He's doing the Macarena. I don't know, Metal Man.
And for normal mode, we will just entirely remove certain mechs. Okay. So if you know about more Doom Gate 3, he's gonna remove the big Just Guard mech at 275. I think it's 275. And a 200 line mech as well for normal mode.
Oh, really, Viral? Yeah, I haven't watched him yet. Jahan.
And not just more Doom, of course. We're going to look into all the normal modes for all raid content.
Like, what they should have is scaling wipe mechanics. Instead of just you die if this one person messes it up, it needs to scale. Like, so if it's like the good example is the stagger mech in Brel, right? Or the ball mech or things like that, where it's like I just feel like it should do damage proportionate to how badly you fail it, so that you could live it, right? Instead of just like having to start over. Memo is crying. Why? Just repeat the mech, no death. That would be kind of cool too, ISN, if you could repeat them, take a bunch of damage, repeat the mech. Do you guys remember the was it Voldus? Yeah, Voldus had that, right? Big damage went out, and it reset its health a little bit higher, and he redid the mech. Like, that was kind of cool, right? Because, like, what's up, Rewind, by the way? Oh, because his guide has to be changed, I see. Kai Angle had it, too. Like, I don't know why they moved away from that. I guess those are both 4-man content things, but... Yeah, you died, but, like, later on, you could actually shield it and live it, too, Numbers, if you're full health, right? Like... But like I think it's a better design philosophy overall because if like it's just more forgiving. I love 4-man content. It's interesting because like I feel like the last couple times we got 4-man content, Lost Ark as a whole was a lot harder to get groups. You know what I mean? Because like I love 4-man, I love the concept of 4-man, I love low manning stuff. I think it's way better and way more fun. But like I feel like either the gatekeeping or the players doing it, like the support jail in Voldus or Kyangle was so much harder for some reason. Like it was really bad, and I don't know why that was. Maybe because they would pick like the juiciest people for their runs, right? Are we still talking about Lost Ark? Yep. We're talking about 4-man raids. All 4 mean content doesn't break statics and friend groups if they're not exactly 4. Yeah, Danzin, like if you had 4 and 4, usually it splits up. But guys, let's just be real. In that 4 and 4 split, there's always going to be like 2 juicers, right? And everyone wants to play with those 2 juicers. And those 2 juicers probably want to play together. So if you split them up, then everyone's going to be like unhappy over time. But like at the same time, it's like, do you really need statics to re-clear content after a certain point? And that's kind of like what I like about Lost Ark's design philosophy in a sense, where it's cool that I can like prog it with the group, and then after a couple weeks, you're pretty much free and you can do whatever you want. It's pretty puggable. Yeah. So it's just kind of interesting.
We're also...
There's like 10 groups, even though I was only in 6th then for Voldus. Yeah, it sucks.
I think he said tomorrow, but tomorrow? I think he said tomorrow. Death counter is going to be introduced tomorrow.
Wait, what? Death counter? Oh, the
It's gonna
revives.
consume Phoenix plumes.
Okay. Wait, Phoenix plumes
When
are
you revive.
back, baby. That's funny. Holy. So I wonder if we're getting revives in our patch notes tonight.
When it comes to difficulty, it's really difficult because some players find the same content really difficult, some players find it really easy.
I got Luna right here too, but she's asleep. Finally, she got tired.
So it's difficult because if you try to nerf the difficulty, some players might find that it's a shame because well, it was like fun before and now it's stale.
My group is dooming about patch not working tomorrow. Well, at least it's only the continent release, you know what I mean? And they have time to work it out.
So death counter, the intended effect is you keep the excitement and all, but you lower the pressure that you have going into the raid, especially during prog. So we're implementing this especially in order to change the atmosphere inside the game. It has become stiff and arid.
Oh, stiff. As he should. Decorum Nick, please. You like it too.
Honing nerfs going from 1600 to 1620 doubled the rate of success and reduced cost 1600 to 1620.
Yeah! Double rate, half cost, 1600 to 1620. What about 1580 to 1600? Oh well, I mean, still good news. It should just be silver. Orejas should go away. But oh well. But progress. Okay. Double rates, half cost. Should make it a lot easier.
This problem has been hanging for too long.
So that means we're probably getting on the patch.
So we will apply these changes in order to help out, especially with new players.
It's still pretty rough, don't I? Like I've been bricked there as a new player when I was role playing on West.
We'll provide tripod amulets since we're removing tripods. Soon we're just gonna give out tripod amulets in exchange for silver, and so that you can just max out everything.
So basically, they're giving out tripods because they don't have it ready yet, but they're just gonna give them out for free, so people can just buy them with silver. That's kind of cool, at least.
There's a lot of adjustments we have to apply before we actually roll out the tripod removal. So in the meanwhile, this will serve as a band-aid solution.
I'm not sure right now, Mike. We're watching this, bro.
Wow, let's talk about support. So we've been
support.
avoiding this
Okay,
topic
here we
somewhat
go.
up to this point. Let's talk about support. Yes, we've been avoiding the topic, he admits. The reliance on support is way too high. It's really high right now.
Yeah, you could say that. Holy.
Not just party care, but contribution to damage.
Why are they getting rid of tripods? Is that actually a problem for anyone? Yeah, if you're a new character or like a new character is made like for an event, it's terrible. Like new players having to figure out tripods and all that kind of shit. It's just like another point of failure where they can be frustrated with the system and stop playing your game. So for like returning players, new players, and there's so much damage tied to tripods. Like most of that base like T3 shit have to just be
36 to 38%. Wow, and the remaining DPS is basically just to 21% damage. support is like 36, 7, 8% damage per party.
Jesus. I mean, it's more than that, right?
So you just need supports going into any content. And so because of that, we were reluctant to make supports stronger because they already take up so much of the damage spread. And we were reluctant to introduce spec up methods for supports. Also, since it could also discourage supports from playing support. So there's a few things that we are indeed. So for instance, so there's a lot of things that we experimented. For instance, like showing the value that was dealt by the supports whenever the DPS did damage, like the portion of that damage that belonged to the support, like showing that. But in the end, it was just wonky. It didn't make too much sense because it's the DPS doing the damage in the end.
But they just need to make supports have more stuff, man.
And then if you show this value, it could also lead to additional problems like
I guess it depends on which DPS.
DPS is blaming the supports. Like if they fail to buff properly, they could be like where's the buff?
Alright, who's the support that's been flamed by a DPS before? I have. I've been flamed alive by Stoops, guys. He said, buff me! And I wasn't ready. Zest form. Dimrick, G Mike, yeah, Retro City, iSun, yeah. I flame my support if my burst is below 90% AP. True. Me by friends. I'm the DPS who flamed subs. I'm crying thinking about the raiding with being in raid with Stoops. Yep. This stops guy. Arrgh. I feel like I get flamed and ask what's up every time I'm below 95% uptime. I'm doing Trixie on damage is a crazy thing to say, Metal Man. John bullies the subs. I do not. I'm a nice guy.
What? So we'll make changes to engravings. We will also make it worthwhile to raise skill point beyond 10.
Raising skill point beyond 10. Interesting. So right now as a support, there's absolutely no value outside of your chaos dungeon. Just zero, that's what I'm saying. So that's kind of cool if they're actually adding value to going above 10, because it will actually add a little bit of diversity in the build, like let's say on Wind of Music or Heavenly Tune or something like that. So there is, like in your chaos dungeon, that's good, actually, you know what I mean? He's the only guy in my set that doesn't have a single support. He makes me angry. Yeah, I would too.
Arc passive changes.
More mana.
We'll also spice it up.
Okay,
we've been delaying this all this time. We've been reluctant to deal with this issue. So I can only hope that through this reveal of the development method, the direction, it will appease some of the support players who were angry with the way we were dealing with things.
Okay, like that's a big W right there, guys. They actually like bringing it up again because they brought it up and then it went away, and they like brought it up and they went away, and there was no talk about it. So this is saying like we worked on it a little bit, we did some stuff, it didn't really work. We tried this, we tried that, it didn't really work. We're gonna be trying this, and it should help with feeling better. I think they just need to add more utility to all the supports. Like I've been on so many long rants about this, I'm not going to dive into it right now. But yeah, I really feel like they just need to add more utility to supports and just make them more fun to play. And I know everyone else is saying, no, John, don't say it. But like, I'd be okay if they buffed a little less and had more like character to their build and like what they were doing. You know what I mean? We're going to need the shit out of you, then try to make it more fun. Yep. It's not like they're trying for that long term. I think that's a better design philosophy overall, Zephys. Classic DPS with 30-second end cap, expecting to always play perfectly with and have 99% uptime since support is easy. It's always people who don't play single support as well. Yep. Yeah, Nick, I know. We want like the life grip. I want the Lin in Maple. There's this character Lin. It has a skill that teleports everyone on top of your character. Imagine that, like being able to troll your team with that, guys. That would be so much fun. This is such a needed, huge conversation forever. Absolutely, man. Like, that's a huge win. Move Sonic Vibration or Sunwell, yeah. Or if it just followed your character around, G Mike. Fuck no, like a boss. But that would be so much fun. Am I the only one that wants more ways to XDD my team? Okay, and troll a little bit? Like, I do be trolling now and then, and it's a little fun sometimes. Not all the time. But, like, you need a little XCD in your life. Do you want another 9-hour gear? I'm not doing that ever again. Because it's going to be a 9-hour more Doom. Could be fun to be able to switch to stance like a glaive as a sport to switch to DPS. That'd be interesting, huh? I mean, like, I don't think they already have way too much APM as it is, Dimrick, though. And, like, being expected to send all your buffs and all your skills and then swap to DPS to weave in, like, 2% damage sounds kind of dumb. Some people aren't making stream content, John. Okay, but, like, I understand that. But are you... Okay, like, Dota, what are you saying? Like, if I wasn't streaming, you think I wouldn't want to troll my friends? Like, that's, like, one of the most fun things is the meme moments. Like, I don't want to just, like, have spreadsheet fucking Lost Ark rating. Like that's the boring shit. I don't know, man. There's a shit ton of button pressing leading into burst window, even if you're doing sidereal. Yeah. That skill was in Terra, and you can use it to TP out of position players and save them. I mean, like, Viral, that's what I'm saying. Like, stuff like that where it allows class diversity and, like, showcasing your bit, like, something like identity, right? Like, you can do this. Like, this class can do this. It's, like, just severely lacking right now. I don't want to waste my time doing raid. I got family. Okay, then don't waste your time. Don't play with people that do that. For the people that want to have fun playing a game, like, COD. I want to have fun playing a game, guys. Like, I'm sorry. I'll say it. Like, even if I wasn't content creating, I'd still be trying to have fun when I'm playing. Because if all I'm doing is monotonously going through the same raids as efficiently as possible just to log off, it's a job. Like, so, like, laughing a little bit and having a little fun is pretty good. Don't make a TP, AoE TP and make it a personal grab like WoW Praise. Yeah, you can still troll with that, too. Like a boss, good idea. But, yeah, we talked, that's, like, one of the things I suggested, too. It's, like, just, like, all the different ways, all the different kits. If we have revives and you can pull into a one-shot, you're dead. Yep. Mike, I'm not going to go back. That was, like, 20, 30 minutes ago on the VOD if you want to look. But in short...
So, Lawn will be when we...
In short, Mike, it's still going to be implemented as it is. It's just not going to give AP.
Reveal a female paladin and Casros, but also how we intend to take this game direction-wise going into the future is how we're going to unveil, show how we're going to...
So 9 hours jail is fun for you, be honest. Like, bro, like, that has nothing to do with having fun. Like, just because I'm in a jail doesn't mean it's fun. I was in a jail and it fucking sucked, and you guys loved it. Like, I'm explaining... having like a troll moment with your buddies, like LOL, that was funny, and then you clear it afterwards. That's a completely different thing. Being stuck with like random pugs for 9 hours, and let's say people are messing up and trolling you, that's a different thing.
So he's going to discuss a bit about Casros.
Yo, Casros art, finally, guys. What's up, Sean? How's it going, bro? I'm very long a gear hard jail, bro. I don't want to think about that second. I'll sell you skin Saturday. Nope. Okay, what do we got going on here, guys? What do we see? Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Chills. Up here kind of looks like Theomine's throne. No, this looks like a throne up here. Yeah, it looks like Chains Mike right here. What's this back here? Pretty good. The Sanctum of Domination. I thought, Dota, like, why are you bringing up your bedroom right now? That's crazy. I thought you renamed it. Looks like Chaos Tower. A little bit low then. What's going on, bro? See you later. XOXO. Torgas. Oh, shit. Yeah, like right here looks like Theomine to me.
Casros, Aegir, Narok, Mordoom. Who are these guys? A lot of players have been complaining about this.
Whoa, guys, what did I just say yesterday? How was like complaining about how no one knows who these random like bosses that are added. Did he watch my video, guys? Like, this is kind of interesting, no? Like, he's touching on a lot of the things we touched on.
Who are these guys? Why are we fighting them?
He's following your YouTube.
So, not enough build-up, story-wise.
Yes! I literally just said this yesterday. Like, I keep saying this. This is crazy. He's watching the stream. Director, listen, if you're out there right now, you better send me a Makoko plushie right now. Or we're gonna stop talking about things coming up and what should be worked on. Okay?
So, like,
send me
we're
my
unsure of the
plushie.
motive for fighting these bosses. So, and this sort of applies to Casros as well. Casros. So we know he's the final boss and all, but...
Oh, he's got some AI shit going on. Don't worry, Shiro. Those headphones that auto-translate. He's definitely a hate watcher.
Ah, so since we never revealed what Casros looks like, there is no... Players did not have a chance to formulate an impression regarding this boss. That is why there's a sort of...
Retroactive lore feels weird. Mallow, I was faced with a situation like that where there was a gap in content releases and stuff had to be released with like light on the lore. And like it's an interesting split of players that care about lore and don't care about lore, in addition to saying they care about lore and saying they don't care about lore, because it's kind of like weird. So it's like a gap in content, dropped this new content. It was like this new thing, a new area, whatever you want to call it, new dungeon, new raid. And it was like a super fun development process, got it out, it was like well received. But then like there's like the vocal minority complaining like, but how does this tie into the game? And then like so we had to retroactively write lore and like add history to it to like make it make sense. And then like so like yeah, lore departments in games are like interesting when you have to do stuff like that. It's like, you know, it's like, let's say you had a bunch of assets already done and you want to like release something fast. So you already had everything pretty much done. You just like cobbled it together and released it. Like, hey, here you go. And it's like, would people care about that in Lost Ark? If they said, okay, I cobbled this together. Here's Challenge Vaulton. How do you reintroduce Challenge Vaulton with like lore? Can you? Not really. Unless you're saying like there's a fucking diabolical cleric sitting on the sidelines resurrecting a cow guy like over and over so you can beat him up bloody and kill him over and over. Like that's a pretty shitty way to live. Say Brel made illusions or some shit. Sure, yeah, you can always just say because magic, and that's how most game studios handle it. But I'm just saying, like, people want lore but they don't want lore. He used a phoenix plume, as he should. It has the cube, true. Reaches a dominator into a tornado. I don't even know what that means. This is D. Just mumble something about Shandy Yaz and illusion. True, Vortec. True. Or Vortog. Hey, Dark, what's up, dude?
Lack of motivation. Disconnect.
But what he's saying is completely true, because I do complain about that lately.
We only revealed his voice.
Okay. Go on. And then...
2 pairs of wings or what symbolize Casros. You might have seen this in places like Elgasia, but keep this in mind. 2 pairs of wings. How this will be unraveled.
So is that the same picture, but a little bit different up at the top here? It looks so red though, because like it looks like a throne up here in an arena on top of a big platform, and then you look a little bit forward. Wait, whoa!
Winter, and I was like, what? Arena for Gate 1.
Okay. The red picture is Gate 1. What's up, Malaven? Very Thaemine-esque. Yeah, it is, but red. Alright, guys, we got red Thaemine coming in. Oh, shit. We got some MC Escher shit going on here. Okay. Dude, that's straight up Torghast. Holy shit. Guys, tell me that's not Torghast right here. There's no... that's straight up Torghast. Like 100% that's Torghast. I'm sorry. There's like that looks yeah. All right. It literally is. Why do you have to remind us of that? Yeah. Torghast PTSD. It's a reflection of ICC, so it's basically Ice Crown. True. Gray and Spike
this
equals
is
Torghast. Pretty
inside
much.
the castle. So 2 gates in the first dungeon. So it's gonna be 2 dungeons. The first dungeon has 2 gates, it seems.
First dungeon has 2 gates. Oh, look at, dude, that's fucking cool looking. All right, so this is now Ice Crown Citadel again, and then chills. Yeah, that's probably Kadan. Yeah, is that supposed to be like a person right here? It's like so hard to tell. Is that Casros RF Army? As he should. What's up, Jabeda, by the way? The stairway to Casros. Dude, this looks like the entry to was it Elden Beast that had this entry in Elden Ring? Or going up into the Erd Tree depth charge, like with the Elden Beast or whatever it was. Yo, what's up, Smiles? It looks kind of different up here at the top, like they didn't finish it, but oh, pretty good.
This is on the way to go meet Casros.
Yeah, I know it's concept art, but like I'm just saying, it looks like it's like missing detail right
and
here.
that figure looks like Kadan. We're still not sure. We're on our way
he's
to
approaching
meet Casros.
Yep. Dude,
This looks pretty sick, not gonna lie.
I see this and I just think of like Thaemine Gate 4. Like if this was only stairway to heaven but a highway to hell. No, what's up, Turtle Nipples? Like this like big arena here, like fighting across it. Pretty cool.
He said something wrong. He's been saying winter, and I was like, what? Like, what is he gonna reveal in the winter? But
열심히 알려주시더라고요.
It looks
so
like
all these
Kadan,
changes are going
based
to be
on posture
applied
and sword
in the
holding.
summer.
겨울은
Yeah,
아니고 말도 안 되는 얘기.
including support changes and all.
놀라게 해주셔서
Wait, did he say?
He said something wrong. He's been saying winter, and I was like, what? Like, what is he gonna reveal in the winter? But
Is he left-handed,
열심히
G-Mag?
알려주시더라고요, 저한테. 제가
so all these changes are going to be applied in the summer. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
shit! All the changes are here this summer with the support
Including
section.
support changes and all.
I heard Casros. Casros mentioned.
So
Chills,
now he's gonna unveil what Casros looks like.
Okay, okay. I'm ready. I'm ready.
일렁이는 카드로스
Dude, just do it. Show me.
You might have seen on the Casros battlefield map
Just
a black,
just fucking show me the
blue-black
guy.
fog. Casros is rebuilding his body.
That's not Casros. I thought we were showing me Casros. He might be What if he is Casros? Yeah, it is. Casros looks so real.
And he will no longer be immortal.
As he
And
should.
so
최초로 한번 공개.
The director's
it's
the
the
final
first
boss of the
reveal
Turkey.
for what Casros' body looks like reconstructed.
네, 보시는
Oh. Okay. Okay. Wait. Is this Casros then? Why is the moon red? I thought we already went over this with Theamine. Oh my. Alright, what do we got here? Antares got. That's not Casros? It's Casros. Why is Nick saying Antares got a fire? Okay, so I mean, he just talked about it being Casros, so I'm assuming it's Casros. What do we got? We got a. He looks like a ring wraith or something here, right? And he's got some like fucking god powers, soul weaving shit here. And then we got like a weird. Is that in the sky or above him? Sauron? Yeah, the Eye of Sauron right there. Chills. A lot of red. I mean, red-black palette with a little white though. It's interesting that he is that it. I don't think it's a sword because this looks like smoke down here. You're saying it's this person. Wait, when's this from? Oh, I'm looking at my other screen here. Sec. Everything's slow to load. Oh my. The hair is another clue. Yo, I'm gonna be honest, guys. Like, is this his hair? Is it glowing like threads and shit coming out the front? I'm guessing. Evil Catan. It's his hair is that okay? Then why is it going into his hand? Like, what are we saying? He has like, he holds his hair in his hands like a soul. Like, I mean, it looks cool either way. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
So this might not be a great explanation. Jayhawk lacks
보여드려봤고요.
expertise in the scenario field,
열심히 준비하고 있고요. 그리고
No, so like lore. He doesn't know the lore.
but hoping that this somewhat
수정해달라는 요구도 되게 많았었는데 저희가
So that was the big Casros trio. Okay, it's pretty good. Pretty good. It's hype.
여자 성분이
provided some info.
저희가 목소리
For female paladin, we're adding an additional voice, a voice that sounds
뭐 어찌저찌 이제 이상으로 이제
holy,
1년 동안
I guess.
이렇게 과정에
They got a voice actress from abroad, a famous voice actress,
몇 가지 내용 좀
From
and
abroad.
she will have that sublime
제가 처음
voice
시리즈를
Oh,
설계할 때
shit.
option.
시리즈를 전반부랑
No, it's gonna be me, guys.
템포를 좀 빠르게 이어나가는 어떤 그런
Spoiler alert. I'm Casros. It's me. Yep, it's me.
So we pushed vertical content really fast in the past year.
아마
Yeah.
마지막 카제로스 레이드, 그러니까
You
분단장이랑
did?
카제로스
Because you
레이드랑
reset
비슷하죠.
without resetting. I forgot to clip that last
So we
time,
had this
JFE.
trend, this procession
When
going
we
from
duetted.
Legion
The
Commander raids to Casros raids. And they're similar, right? But we will make sure that
couldn't find a
Casros
good one, though, then.
combines all of our expertise and knowledge and raid
쓰셔야 될것 같고
design. You will also be able to meet the true final Esther
Oh, shit.
during the Casros combat.
Exciting.
And the story, the aftermath story will be insane. And we will also include a sort of credit roll that shows on what date you cleared a specific boss and what kind of achievements you've had while playing this game. Season 3, when we planned it out, it was going to have two parts. First part was going to be about challenge. Part 2 is going to be about adventure, exploration. And we're at almost at the brink of the end of the first part. In part 2, we reveal the next phase of endgame content. Again, I want to express my apologies. Too many problems intertwined. We always have fun at the top of our priority. All the staff
I don't know
members,
about that.
we're all the same. Whenever players have fun while playing our game, we rejoice. I hope that at the very least that point has gone across. We don't have a player reward today. We will, instead of a reward, we promise that we will provide a string of great content going into the future. I hope you all stay healthy. Thank you for watching. This was Jayhawk John signing out and WineBlue translating. Thank you guys for watching.
WineBlue, guys, that was Mr. WineBlue that did that translation. Wait, why can't I type today? Shout out WineBlue, please. Why am I so bad at everything? That's Mr. WineBlue right there. He did the translations on that one. If you haven't watched him, great content creator, nice guy. That was a very good translation by him. I also do want to watch too, like Benji and Memo's translations of it. What do you guys think overall? I think that was pretty good. I think that was a lot more than what I expected. That's for sure. I think a lot of people were dooming so hard that it was going to be a big nothing burger, but like they actually talked about a lot of good things, like acknowledging a lot of faults, talking through the thought process of why they were wrong, instead of just saying, yo, my bad, here's a Relic book. I think that's a pretty big win. I think